And hello there, my viewer. Welcome to Science TV. Here we have the 1 p.m. news with me, host Edna Kahindi, and my sign language interpreter voicing Esther Kendi. Welcome to the news updates where we get to inform you what's happening in the country. Don't forget to leave a comment on our social media platforms, from Instagram to YouTube or anywhere you find our news. And thank you for always joining us onto our first news update. The President, William Ruto, on Wednesday morning, officially received the credentials from the new ambassadors and high commissioners appointed to the country. The ceremony, held at the State House, marks the formal beginning of the envoy diplomatic duties in the country. The new ambassadors, representing various nations from around the world, presented their letters of credence to the head of state, a formal tradition that signifies the official recognition as diplomatic representatives. During the event, the President held a brief discussion with each of the ambassadors, touching on bilateral relations and areas of mutual interest between Kenya and their respective countries.
It is a great honor for me to stand before you today and to convey, on behalf of my head of states, His Excellency Yitzhak Herzog, and on behalf of the people of the State of Israel, our warmest greetings and heartfelt compliments to you personally, and for you to the people of the Republic of Kenya. It is my privilege to present to Your Excellency the letter of recall of my esteemed predecessor, as well as the letter of credence by which His Excellency President Herzog has appointed me as Ambassador of the State of Israel to the Republic of Kenya. I assume this responsibility with humility and deep sense of purpose. It is my earnest hope to build upon the strong historic and friendly relations that so warmly exist between our two countries, and to strengthen them furthermore. Kenya and Israel enjoy a long-standing and resilient friendship, grounded in mutual respect and shared values, and demonstrated time and again through fruitful cooperation and solidarity. Our bilateral ties span a wide range of sectors, including water, energy, trade, agriculture, health, security, ICT, and culture. I am fully committed to enhancing collaboration in these areas and more through knowledge exchange, joint initiatives, and capacity-building efforts, especially under the framework of Mashav, Israel's Agency for International Development Cooperation. There is a saying in Swahili, panaponia, pananjia. When there is a will, there is a way. I am particularly eager to work closely with your esteemed government in advancing cooperation on pressing global.
Now, Chief Justice Martha Koome has stated that the judiciary recognizes and appreciates the efforts of the alternative justice system in resolving conflicts among communities in the northern eastern region. Speaking on the role of these traditional systems, the Chief Justice noted their success in delivering justice to the vulnerable, reducing animosity and hatred within the community. She highlighted the positive impact of the systems in complementing the formal court process, particularly in remote areas where access to formal legal services may be limited.
NJS has already proven itself as an effective, restorative, and humane way of resolving our disputes. It prioritizes reconciliation. NJS preserves relationships and promotes peace. Unlike our adversarial court process, NJS asks our people to be heard in their own voices, in their own language, in their own environment, in very familiar spaces, and in culturally resonant ways. It is this unique ability of NJS that helps us combine with healing and resolving disputes in a way that touches the hearts and the soul of our people. This occasion, therefore, is significant because we are recognizing and elevating Maslaha's system and other indigenous mechanisms that for generations have been a backbone of dispute resolution in this county. Garissa, with the rich Somali traditions and other communities that live here and coexist with harmony, backed by very strong religious heritage and its cross-border realities, has always known that justice cannot be confined to the four walls of a courtroom. Justice must live in the communities. But justice lives in our Mbara.
In other news update, the government has announced it will begin paying the social health contributions for 1.5 million vulnerable citizens starting next week. The initiative aims to ensure that those who cannot afford the contributions are still able to access health care services through the newly established Social Health Authority, SHA. The move is part of the government's broader strategy to achieve universal health coverage and ensure that no Kenyan is left behind in accessing essential medical services. And according to the government officials, a comprehensive list of beneficiaries has been compiled through various databases to identify the most deserving individuals and families. The selection criteria focused on households below the poverty line and those in a dire financial need.
Martha Egisil. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Hebu nione kwa mkono. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Tumeambia hata hawa facilities, hata mwananchi akifika pale aelezwe vizuri. Ya, kama ni mtu ya kulazwa, ile bill ambaye angelipa shilingi 20,000, 30,000, 100,000, 200,000, akilipa tu contribution yake ya SHA, which is less than, in many cases, less than 5,000. Anatibiwa for the whole year, yeye, familia yake, na kila mtu, bila ya kulizwa pesa yoyote. That is what, and I'm going to have a meeting next week with our members of parliament, with governors. Sisi, I am going to pay for 1.5 million as national government. Mimi nataka governors walipie another maybe 1 million. Hao wabunge, you know, every MP hako na pesa anaweza kulipia wale watu maskini katika constituency yake. So that we can... Tunaelewana, my friends? We must be deliberate. Saa hizi, kuna hospitali tunawatumia pesa kwa kutreat wananchi wanashangaa because they have never seen. Yeah? Because they have never seen money.
The Nairobi County Assembly members, MCAs, are scheduled to return to State House today to finalize the agreement that led to the withdrawal of the impeachment motion against Governor Johnson Sakaja. The MCAs, along with the county executive, led by Governor Sakaja, are expected to meet with President William Ruto to formalize the terms of their reconciliation. The meeting follows separate closed-door sessions held on Tuesday by both the majority and minority side, which resulted in the decision to drop the impeachment bid.
Ongea na watu wamezungumza na MCS wametoa mambo yao na yamesikizwa, na vile vile pia leadership wametoa mambo yao ikasikizwa. Kwa hivyo kwa kauli moja tumekubaliana kwamba hiyo impending impeachment yairishwe na itolewe. Kama communication, mambo ya ward zao vile development inafaa kuwa kwa ward, mambo ya bursaries ambazo pengine angeza kuwekwa imekuwa address na governor vizuri. Kwa hivyo kuna yale tu developments wangetaka kwa ward zao zile wamechaguliwa yaangaliwe na yaangaziwe.
And now, secondary school principals across the country are warning of a potential disruption to learning due to persistent delays in the disbursement of financial capitation funds from the government. The school heads claim that the government has yet to release the remaining 20% of the funds allocated for the third term, a situation they say is becoming increasingly unsustainable. They have expressed concerns that without these funds, they may be forced to send students home to collect fees, a measure that could disrupt the academic calendar. The school principals are calling on the Ministry of Education and the government to urgently address their financial shortfall to prevent a crisis on the education sector that students' learning is not compromised.
Wakati huu walimu wakuu wengi wako na shida sana hata kukaa shuleni. Baadhi ya walimu wakuu hata wanajificha kwa sababu suppliers wanawasumbua. Wakikaa shuleni bila hizo fedha kufika ni vigumu sana. Simu ni nyingi sana. Wengi wetu, baadhi yetu tunabadilisha hata simu, namba ya simu kwa sababu tunasumbuliwa sana na suppliers. Na shule kadhaa zimepelekwa kotini pia.
Even last term, what was given to schools was only 15%, and 15% remained. We are calling upon the government to make sure that the arrears that have been there, because in every year, arrears are there. The government is not paying full.
Kuna bidhaa ambazo tunastahili tununue ili tutumie katika masomo for practical subjects. Hatuwezi tukanunua bila hizo fedha. Na baadhi ya suppliers ni wagumu sana kwa sababu shule nyingi ziko na madeni.
Principals have nothing to they must adhere to the directive of the government. But now once the parents hear that kind of a directive, they don't pay a single penny. They just go to schools and demand the certificates of their pupils, their students.
A group of scholars and community leaders in Siaya have called on Governor James Orengo to provide clarity on the rumored closure of the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology, that is JUST, in Siaya town campus. The leaders have expressed concerns that the potential closure and transfer of students to Bondo and other locations will cripple the local economy. In a press briefing held in Siaya town, the leaders, including Professor Paul Wau Achola, the former Siaya Mayor Julius Ugutu Ocham, and the former Councillor Owino Tamre, argued that the move would undermine years of investments by both the county government and residents aimed at establishing a university in the town. Professor Uchula, who chaired a task force by former Governor Cornel Rasanga, which led to the campus establishment, revealed that the initial plan was for the campus to transition into a fully fledged presidential Barack Obama University after a period of mentorship by JUST. And now we're going to be taking a short break. We'll be back with the sports news.